don't know whoever told you the definition of help, but I don't think you're helping here. I'm trying to bite them. You helping? Huh? You helping, Lola May? Hold on to that for me. Thank you. Okay, I'll take it back now. They're gone. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Thank you for your assistance. Welcome back to the good old Southern IA. We are gearing up for some craziness, possibly. Our weather forecast does not look very good. It looks wet. Wet, wet, wet. Which the good news is that basically we are pretty much done with corn, other than like 40 acres of CRP that we burned, and you guys saw that happen. That still needs to be planted. Out here you can see this tile that we put in last fall is saving our butts on this flat right now. There's farms around here. There's, heck, the one right across the road, it's got a flat on it. It's still like that color dark. And we got drier dirt starting to show up here. It's like it's paying right now. We, however, are a little cold. Corn doesn't have the best looking color to it right now. Need some sunshine. But really happy with this. Happy, happy, happy. Andrew right now is out in the land all tilling some stalks. We don't really want to till the stalks, but we got to get this dirt drying. It's like it's not drying. So we've kind of got a game plan. Is that if we can get that planter rolling, that planter ain't going to stop rolling until it rains. Which means that we're going to 24 hours. I said let's put some 30-inch row beans in the ground. Dad doesn't like the 30-inch row beans. I wouldn't mind the 30-inch row beans. I don't think there's a yield difference anymore in between a 15-inch row bean and a 30-inch row bean, because we can control the weeds. But most of the beans that are left are his beans, so it's his call. Running 24 hours in the day, we'll get a lot of beans in the ground. We aren't going to get it done before the next rain anyway, so. And we'd have to spend the day converting this back to beans and then converting it back to corn, and yeah.
Straight back. Straight back. Perfect. Go up a little bit. Go up a little bit. Right there.
We're putting the bean buggy onto my dually because my dually will have my tools, fuel, generator, air compressor, what we might need for the day. Plus it handles 4 boxes a lot better than the 2500 that we call the Lucky Truck. Pro boxes, and they'll have 2,000 to 2,500 pounds worth of seed in them, not including the box. Someone once asked me about like how many acres you can get out of a box here. Well, they no longer sell soybeans by the bag, they actually sell it by the unit. But 1 unit is a bag of soybeans, if that makes sense, but it's not sold by weight anymore. Champion sells a unit of soybeans is 140,000 seeds per unit. you have to kind of compare that to some companies. So if someone prices you a bag of soybeans, ask how many soybeans are actually in a unit, because that might change. Which then they give you all the information there about, you know, the origin of where it was from. These are from Iowa, the test date, when they were tested, the hybrid number, or the number of the soybeans. So this is a group 3-6 soybeans here. And then it has all the stuff that, you know, and then the list, yada, yada, yada. But anyways, I divulge or I diverge or whatever. So there's 45 units in a box. Most of the times for soybeans, there's 45 units. So 45 bags in a box, unless the soybeans are really big and they can only put 40 units in a box. So how many acres you can actually plant per box depends upon the population that you plant it. So say you planted at 140,000 seeds per acre, you're going to get 45 acres. You plant less than that, you're going to get more acres. You plant more than that, you're going to get less acres, right? Did I say that? You guys know what I meant. Hopefully that answers that question. And on the bottom of each one of these pro boxes is a gate. The gate, you can pull it, opens it up, dumps out the soybeans and the bean buggy. Well, we call it a bean buggy. This is like an ADS buggy or something like that. And then it just drops down. We got a front and a back conveyor, and then you put them onto the cart or onto the planter. You guys have seen that. That's how we do that. Other people, you can use like a bulk or anything like that. This for us works pretty fine. Housekeeping stuff though, if you guys didn't know, you're tuned in the iowANFarmer YouTube channel. It is the spring planting vlog where we're trying to bring you guys along with us all spring as we get the crop in so that we can harvest the crop this fall. My girlfriend Molly, she's editing all the videos for us to make sure that we can get you guys that consistent content. All she asks is that you hit the thumbs up button to help support the channel. Otherwise, she's gonna make Dylan listen to the word vehicle on repeat day in and day out. For some reason, he doesn't like the word vehicle. He could just be like a normal person and like a non-normal weird like word like moisture. Hey, sit. Dad needs to train you. You know that? You're a sweet little thing, but your training is lacking. Unless he just wants you to be wildly. Don't puke on me, Squirt. You're down there on the ground. But not on my throttle pedal. When we were burning this CRP, I noticed a pipe right here. It's running water. And not like a tile pipe, like it's a 1-inch like galvanized pipe. I wonder what the heck that thing is. It's like I can't really leave it in here. So another question that I get is that, we just talked about that pattern tile earlier in this video, is that can you like shut the pattern tile off? Well, technically, yeah, there's some blockage systems and stuff that you can use now. I've never used those. You can actually supposedly irrigate with tile now too, which would be pretty darn cool to try at some point, but who knows. You'd have to have some really flat land to do that. What are you doing? What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? You gotta remember the ground acts like a sponge. The sponge can only hold so much water and then it's completely saturated. You got no air in your soil profile. Things don't want to grow. It actually drowns out your crop and it dies. But if you wring all that extra moisture out of the water, out of the sponge, you still have a wet sponge, and that's what the tile is doing. So for instance, right now, we were actually pretty dry. So our soil profile can hold quite a bit of this rain, as long as it doesn't go ripping off the top because the ground was super hard or anything like that. So right now, this farm, we've had 3 inches of rain on this farm so far. So you might think that, hey, you're gonna be running a lot of moisture or a lot of water out of your pipe. And next to Squirt there, that just got her head wet. And you can tell we actually are not running that much water out of here right now. That's because most of the water that we just got in these rains is being stored within the actual soil profile, because that was doing its job. So long story short, tile doesn't cost, it pays. You guys missed that because the GoPro fell, but we're just gonna leave that. We're not farming down that far. We don't know what it is. Could have been for like a water a long time ago, or someone found a seep and they put a piece of pipe with some gravel around it. Who knows? It's nothing that we're gonna dig up. It's like it can just do its thing there. It'll just be wet in that area. So I just talked with Brandon, the agronomist from Champion, about this corn. Sent him a couple pictures, make sure that nothing's really going on. Kind of our suspicions were about the same cool and wet weather that we have going on, plus the fact that we got the rain that splashes onto the corn. It doesn't make the leaves look that pretty. Can actually tear up the leaves a little bit. And then this is also the stage of the corn where it stops living off of the seed itself and actually starts to try and pull in nutrients through its root system. So it kind of gives it a little bit of a pale color for a little bit. But to make sure we don't got no diseases, we're going to get the shovel out, dig one up, and make sure everything looks good in the root system. Pop the root. Send him a picture. Says we're good. But there you guys go. Just to show, it kind of looks wet on top, but actually really good conditions right now. You can ball it, crumbles. Really nice. Grow corn, grow. I'm trying to eat my sandwich because I know as soon as I start playing, this is really bad. Come on, this is not for you. Oh. Looks okay, I guess. Don't see anything of concern. Look at that big red beauty sitting over there. Planter yoga. So as Dylan takes off the rest of those boxes, I want to chat with you guys about something because this doesn't happen every day. But 10, noon, and 2, I get market text. Along with I get market text for bids into certain elevators and things like that to see what the price of crops are doing all the way throughout the year. I think a report came out yesterday, but I got my text messages today, and it's the noon hour text message, and it just came in. Right now, today, soybeans are down 62.75 cents, so 63 cents per bushel. And corn's down 40 cents per bushel. I think 40 cents is actually limit down. So I don't think corn can go down anymore today if it tried. I think either 40 or 45 cents is limit down. And I think 75 cents is limit down for soybeans. Somebody might correct me in the comment section. Anyways, so on a 1,000 bushel load of corn, that means that the per truckload today lost $400, and per 1,000 bushel of soybeans lost basically $630. Now, what really kind of sucks, yeah, you lost money with that, but right now a big stressor, especially for a younger guy like me that you don't have the storage, you got to market your crop because you need the cash flow, is this absolutely wild volatility in our markets that we've got swinging one way to the other. Right now, lately, it's been on a rip upwards, which is okay. And you know, this farmers might sound weird. I really wish that wouldn't happen, you know. I really wish we wouldn't rip up like that. I'll explain why here in a second. But for instance, to put it into perspective for you guys that might not understand what a swing in 40 cents, you know, per bushel, what's the big swing there? Across the road there is my farm. I'm gonna grow corn on that farm this year. It's already planted. You guys saw me plant it. There's 50 acres over there, and if I can get lucky enough and grow a good crop and steward it, I might get to 200 bushels per acre. If there's the 50 acres times 200 is 10,000 bushels. So that 40 cents drop today means that there's gonna be $4,000 less dollars that comes from revenue off of that farm just today. And that's nothing that I screwed up. It has nothing to do with the corn that I planted, nothing to do with how I farm. It's just literally the markets took $4,000 out of that crop today. Now granted, it can put $2,000 in, you know, you ought to rip up and down. Where the issue becomes is is that rent prices will go ripping up, seed prices will go ripping up. And when I say ripping up, I mean shoots up. They'll go up fast with the price of commodities. Look at fertilizer. Fertilizer's doing it right now too. They'll say shortages or whatever, but it's a commodity and they know that you can get more per acre off of your crop, so they're gonna try and charge you more. That's the way that it works, you know, it's gonna happen like that. You gotta remember that if you wanna be a farmer, the last person with their hand in the pocket is you. And everybody else is gonna get paid for growing that acre before you do. So what that means and what puts fear into me and a little bit of anxiety is that if we shoot up with these crop prices and they only stay here for a short little period of time, and why they're shooting up is multiple reasons. The dollar getting weaker, they keep printing money, China messing with things, there's actually a shortage of crop. It's a whole whatever's going on. If our prices shoot up, because they'll be up this fall for fertilizer and everything like that, and our inputs go in like you're gonna grow $6 a bushel corn next year and our prices fall down to $4 a bushel corn, you can lose a lot of money really quickly. So that's what scares me about these big swings in our prices. It's just, it's gonna hurt farmers at some point. Because there's kind of a saying in growing crops is that the cure for low prices is low prices. Because if you can buy a bushel of corn for cheap, people will start feeding it more, they'll start using it more, things like that. If you can use it cheap, more of it will get used. A cure for high prices is high prices. The demand's gonna go down. Cow guys aren't gonna wanna be feeding $7 a bushel corn, they're just gonna start selling the corn instead of feeding it to cows. They'll find other ways of doing it, ethanol plants, things like that. The end consumer, they'll stop using the corn, there goes our demand. And then it takes a while for that demand to kick back up again. We were getting it going again, but now we've got this wildness going on. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna end good for us. What's your girlfriend saying today?
I was using the calculator.
Yeah.
That's not my girlfriend. That's definitely not the calculator.
Get up there. Get up there. Go on. Get up there. Get up there. Giggity, giggity. Let's go planting. Wouldn't you know it, that we got a beautiful clean fence line here from the winter project we did with the Telly Clipper. Don't have to worry about the planter hitting nothing. Or hitting the tractor.
Famous last words. Next clip.
That is really on there. This must be the new style chain drag. Gives a whole new meaning to a spike closing wheel. There, now when I go past that chunk of barb hanging on that fence for the next 40 years, I'll remember this moment. Not fondly, but I'll remember this moment. And so I want to show you guys something. I'm continuing to use the TerraStar X unlock, which is the sub-inch accuracy without needing a base station, so it's sub-inch accuracy from the satellites. And I'm really liking it. I mean, my correction is great. It's like dead on. It's working really good. And where it's really shining is that I keep jumping around. Here's all of my lines that I'm using so far to plant this field. Normally, with all of these lines, if I jump back and forth on WAS, that's where I can see that satellite drift, where I would have error. So as in either driving too close or too far away for the planter because the satellite drifts. With this, I can hop around here and plant everything and it works great. I have no issues whatsoever. So like for instance, we'll take the angle plant. Now there's where you can do all the shifts and stuff. We'll be bang on, won't have to worry about the drift or anything like that. We can just hop around. That's working great. I mean, all right, now we're actually in what was a hayfield. Well, it was sprayed off, but look at that alfalfa. Kind of hard to kill apparently. Could about cut that, you know, could about cut that and have pure alfalfa. But we're planting this here so we can reseed it next year. Need some tile brought up this ditch right here. Look at how saturated this is. Close enough to an 80-acre stretch. Besides, time to reload. Got this farm mainly planted, other than the flat behind us, because that's where the soybean plot's going. So the soybean plots, we do another 20 some odd acre plot. Tomorrow I need a till. First thing, what am I trying to say? The CRP ground, which is the last bit of our corn that we need to plant. But my sunflower, or my dad's sunflower, is got some parts missing on it right now, so we're gonna have to do a little fixie on it real quick tonight before it gets too dark on us. Go. This is how you break your neck. If it gets to the point, leave the part off that I want to put on in the morning. Probably will. These are significant. Make sure these are the right shape. Well guys, I think we got enough of a video there because it's going to be too dark for the GoPro to see anything anyways, even though the sun looks like, or the sky looks like it's still bright. We're going to get this sunflower wrapped up, ready to go first thing in the morning, which we'll be bringing you guys with us as long as you hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one. I'll show you something. Did you turn the gas on?
I guess not.
So right here's the gas. That's the choke. You turn the choke on?
Yeah.
So you turn the gas. This one. Gas. Choke. Okay. The other thing is right there's a key.
Yeah.
Because this has electric start. You don't have to full start it.
Oh, okay. Well, that would have been nice to know.
Young guys, young guys.